welcome back to another episode of the Lonnie Rose Lounge podcast. I am your host, Iris. I am your mompreneur. Is that even a word? It's like a made-up word. Anyway, I am your mompreneur, your mom entrepreneur. I am your beauty bestie and your life coach. Anything you need me to be, that's who I am. Anyways, welcome back to another episode. If you are new to this episode, please, if you really enjoy this episode, please like and subscribe and do all the fun stuff to make sure you get the next episodes. My goal is to release these episodes every Friday evening. Not evening, afternoon. Every Friday afternoon. New episode drops with new topics. And if there's anything you'd like me to talk about, please share. Please message me through all my social media links and message me and let me know if there's any stories you'd like to share or want me to talk about or anything like that. And if you are already a listener, thank you so much for coming back. I truly appreciate you. And also make sure you're liking and subscribing as well so you know when the next episode will drop. All right. With that said, I wanted to take a moment and just reflect on the last 2 weeks. I know it's been summer vacation. My kids are on vacation from school, and I've been trying to keep them entertained and doing fun stuff with them. I also have been on a summer break with my class as well. So my students and I are taking a summer break. The school is closed down. So it's been a really nice time to just sit back a little bit and reflect and take some me time, right? And hit that kind of reset. And that's what I want to talk about today as well. So in this episode, it's going to be about you deserve to take up space. Okay. And I'll talk a little bit about what that means. But welcome back. All right. So in this episode, I wanted to talk about resetting yourself, right? So hitting your reset button, taking a moment to just take a deep breath, right? So just stop, take a deep breath for a moment, and remember how powerful you truly are, okay? So reset, take that breath, know how powerful you are, and remember that you're powerful even when you're tired, when you're unsure, and when you're running on low fumes. Fumes. I cannot talk today, guys. I'm going to make this as inspirational as possible, but it's going to be a little hard. I do have my coffee going, okay? It's not early in the morning. It is the evening right now. Felt like I needed a little bit of energy. So I stopped, and it's so hot outside too, guys. So I had my Frappuccino, but I don't think it's working for my voice today. But anyways, going back to it, reset, take a breath, know that you're powerful even through the uncertainties, okay? So I want to talk first about the invisible load, right? And what is the invisible load? The invisible load are things that we do that go unseen, right? We're not doing things to receive a reward. We don't sit there and be like, hey, I did this and I did that. And, we don't go out there shouting out everything that we do because, not technically, but it is, our duty, I guess, as a woman, as a mom, as a wife, we want to take those steps, and make sure that things are going as smoothly as possible and less stress for other people. So we take on a lot, and a lot of that goes unseen, from things as planning, cleaning, kids, relationships, like anything in life, really. There's things that we do on a day-to-day basis that seems to go unnoticed. For instance, like the planning, right? We have to plan things out in life. We have to plan the meals, right? So meal prepping, what to eat, how long is it going to take, do the grocery shopping, make sure we have everything that we need. Is it going to fit into our schedule? Is this going to be a big meal, a small meal? Is it going to take me 10 minutes or is it going to take me an hour? How much prep do we have to do for this meal? Just in that alone, okay, that can take a huge amount of time that a lot of people don't seem to take into account as the person who cooks the meal in the home, to take that time. And as everyone's living their life and you're just like in the kitchen, like nobody sees what I'm doing, appreciates what I do. Little things like that, as well as like kids' appointments. If you have kids, you have to schedule their appointments, and there's many appointments that we have to do throughout, the year for the kids. And then there's school. When school comes up again, they need all of these documents and forms signed, and we got to make sure that our kids are healthy, that they're up to date with everything. So things like that we have to, plan. ahead of time too, because we also have to make sure that the appointment day and time works in our schedule. And then we also have, excuse me, I'm telling you, this drink is not doing me any good. I probably should have just cut to my water. Other things that we have to plan as well as our activities for the family, activities for the kids. If the kids are in any sports or in groups, and we have to make sure we can plan around that to make sure that they can show up and make sure that our schedule fits with that too, that we have that allotted amount of time to spend with our kids and to take them to these, because they're not like short little moments. It actually involves a lot of time, especially getting the kid ready, right, to go to their activities. Vacation planning too. That has to be done, like, obviously months in advance, but there's so much planning that goes into it. And then you have to make sure you have backup plan B, C, and D, because anything can go on when you're planning a vacation and then the day of, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe the plane is late, things like that. So a lot of things are involved. And then when school comes up again, there's so many activities with school as well that we have to plan for. And again, this is so much time that emotionally, mentally, and physically that we are involved in. And these are things that go unseen and unnoticed, right? These are the daily tasks, especially of a mom who has to look for these things and plan these things and think about these things. And sometimes we're thinking about them even when they're not supposed to happen, because that's just how our mom brain works, And then there's things such as work, right? If we're working, if we have that 9 to 5, or we're working with clients or doing certain services, whatever your work may be, and you have to make sure that you present yourself in a certain way. You have to leave everything at home, come to work, and then deal with work life, right? Deal with the schedule of work, deal with bosses and supervisors and coworkers, having to deal with all these people around you and facing them on a daily basis with a smile on your face. It takes a toll on you, right? And you want to be present. You want to be there for other people. But again, it's like those little unseen moments that, we do things. And it's not like our boss is going to come up and reward you for, hey, job well done, If you have a boss like that, it's super cool. I don't get, like, at the end of my day, I don't go and be like, oh, yeah, my boss just pat me on the back and said, good job, Iris. You're amazing. A little boost of confidence that we all need once in a while. So if you haven't heard it, hey, you're doing you're a badass. You got this. So good job. I'll say it for you if they don't say it to you. Sometimes we need that, right? We need that boost. And again, just doing our day to day, it's your job, but we do a lot of things extra above and beyond our job commitment and that invisible load. Things that go unseen, right? Kids, if you're a mom with kids, that's probably going to be one of the bigger ones, is kids just have this, your mom, right? You're like above and beyond everything. You're the superwoman, and you do so many things. I just hit the table. You do so many things, and your kids just live day to day, but they don't realize so many things that you do for them, in the ways that we love them and we care for them. And it's just a lot of things that go unseen, right? Because we carry so heavily that invisible load. And we just don't get like a good high five or, once in a while, a little thanks, Mom, I have been doing a good job, though, trying to teach my kids this, especially my little one. Every time he asks for something, even if it's a drink, I'm like, well, what does Mommy get? Does Mommy get something too? Because you're asking me for something. What do I get, for giving it to you? And, so now he's in this habit where now he always makes sure that he thanks me and gives me a hug, which I think is the cutest thing ever. So I really appreciate that. I'm hoping that I raise him to be a wonderful young man for his future wife. But he's becoming such a sweetheart. It took a while, though. Right? Because I have to remind him. I was like, hello. You have to say thank you when somebody gives you something, right? You have to be grateful and appreciative. And he's starting to do that on his own. So it takes time, lots and lots of repetition. So that's a lot of work that goes unseen, right? We only see the fruits of what we do, but not all the pruning and the everything else that we have to go through in order to see the fruit of our labor, right, and our love for these kids. So a lot of it goes unseen with our children. Their clothes are clean and put away, and their meals are done. They don't know that we have to work for our money in order to pay for the items that we need in order to make the meal that they want, and they don't understand. Well, they're getting to an age to understand, but, depending on the age that your kids are at, they don't understand that it takes a lot of work and commitment and money, even to take them to McDonald's, something simple as that, which I don't recommend McDonald's, but once in a while we slip it in there, okay, just to keep them happy, and if they deserve it. But, little things like that, again, they just see the reward. They ask, they get, and they don't see that load that we have to carry in order to give them what they want. So our kids are the bigger ones that don't understand, and they do not see our invisible load, or do they understand the invisible load? And then there's our relationships too, right? Our relationship with our partners, and we want to be there for our partners, and we always question ourselves, like, how can we be better? How can we be better at listening, at communicating, being there, and what do they need from us? Or even being there in ways that they don't seem to even notice they're there. Like, maybe you filled up the water filter for the coffee machine, and they didn't have to do that. They can wake up in the morning and just start their coffee, right? Little simple things, or, prepping something for them, or taking a load off of them in order for their day to go a little bit smoother. Doing that for each other. Sometimes we do things so often for our partner that we tend to forget to be grateful for that. And we just start to carry this invisible load on us, right? Where we're just doing it because it's, you're the wife, you should be doing certain things, and, or you're the husband and you have to take care of these things, instead of sitting down and being, communicating and being grateful with each other. So a lot of invisible loads can happen in a relationship as well. So again, it's just those things that are unseen. And it's not like we're looking for a reward, but it'll be so appreciative, and we'll feel so grateful if people would just notice those small details, that we do. Just a small thank you for being a wonderful person. So little things like that. The invisible load, that can pack on so many different things. And as women, we tend to even shrink ourselves because of these invisible loads. So we shrink ourselves, our posture, we don't, which I'm just remembering, I need to sit up more often. But our posture seems to diminish. Our voice, the tone of our voice seems to diminish too. It shrinks down. And, even our dreams, our dreams tend to shrink as well. And we need to remind ourselves that we're amazing, we're powerful, we can do anything, and we are built to be so much more, and we tend to kind of shrink ourselves with all of this packed on. Okay, so what does it mean to take up space? Okay, so taking up space doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be loud, okay? So you don't have to walk in a room and be so loud or yell and to be seen or heard. Taking up space just really means knowing how to say no without guilt, okay? Knowing how to say no, knowing how to take that time for yourself. If you don't want to do something, it's okay to just say no. We don't have to always people please all the time. And another thing is also making sure that you're walking in a room with confidence, that, your head is held high and you know who you are and what you stand for, and no one will ever be able to diminish you. Okay, so reminding ourselves how powerful we are as a woman, as a person, as a wife, as a mom, as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend, there's just so many titles we wear. So we should feel very proud of that and walk with confidence no matter where we go. That's another big one of making sure you're taking your space, right? Making sure, like, hey, I'm here. Don't have to be loud, but my presence is seen, and my presence speaks louder than the voices. Another thing, taking space, would be also prioritizing yourself. Okay, which this is really hard to do. It's hard to do, to prioritize ourselves, because we put so many people before us. Okay, so we put our partners before us, our kids before us, and we put our jobs before us also, that we tend to forget ourselves in the process. And again, it's like that shrinking moment where, you let everything just pack on, and, you tend to diminish yourself, and we don't want to do that. We are giving everybody else their space except ourselves. So we have to remember to give ourselves that space too, by saying no, by walking confidently, our presence being known and prioritizing ourselves. And that can be as simple as anything with self-care, right? So booking that appointment for a facial or a massage or getting your hair done. Because if anybody noticed, my hair was different. I need a little boost for myself. Just a little self-care. Little things go a long way. But these little things do matter, and it builds up our confidence. So self-care, going for a walk, maybe just doing a workout that we've been putting off for a while, which I'm guilty of that. I will truly admit I'm guilty. I need to hit the gym soon. I really do. But, I still take time for myself, even if it's waking up an extra 15 minutes earlier than everyone else to ensure that I have a quiet time for me. And that's how I do my self-care. My self-care is waking up before anyone else, okay, to make sure I can drink my coffee in peace, read my Bible in peace, be in the moment with God and myself, and journaling. That's a big one. I'm probably going to make a whole episode about journaling. I started journaling not too long ago, and it's been very freeing. But journaling in the morning where there's no interruption, simple things, just little things to be aware that I am me and I love me and I need to make time for me. And even if it's just 15 minutes in the in the morning, in the morning to start, I mean, that's better than nothing. And it's just a start in order to help to take care of myself. Understanding also that self-care is not vain, okay, and it's not selfish. It's actually very powerful when we put ourselves first. We are powerful women. We're human beings. We do so much. We're such a fascinating creature on this planet that it's amazing, and we need to understand how powerful we are and remind ourselves that we are amazing and beautiful and strong and resilient. Like, we are so much, that we allow everything else just kind of take that away from us. And we're so much more than that, So self-care is not vain. It's powerful. Do it. Take time for yourself. Like, ask yourself these questions, all right? So it's like, what is it that makes you feel beautiful? Okay? What makes you feel beautiful? What makes you feel powerful? Okay, so something that makes you feel powerful. And also, what makes you feel like you? Have you ever took a step back and ever thought of these questions? Just simple things. For instance, so something that helps you feel beautiful could be, again, maybe booking that appointment that you've been putting off forever, and booking that facial massage, a hair appointment, a nail appointment, anything like that. Maybe, again, signing up to that gym to start feeling better about yourself. In order to feel powerful, something that helps you feel powerful is starting a school that you wanted to go to, maybe, furthering your career. Would that help you feel powerful? Hitting the gym and building on yourself, getting healthy again will help you feel powerful. Taking your title back, right? So spending that time going and saying to family, okay, mom's checking out for a moment. I'm going for a walk, by myself. Take a walk and listen to what you want to listen to and read the books that you want to read. Any little things that helps you feel like you. Like, what is that going to take? And you need to sometimes sit back and reflect on these things and see what is going to give you that self-confidence and boost to feel amazing. So little things like that. So I'm actually going to challenge you. So this week, I would really like to challenge you into finding something and doing something for yourself to start regaining that power back, right? So book that appointment that you've been wanting to book. If you're in my area in Lancaster, PA, you are free to come see me because this is what I created this space for. This space is to help women feel confident and beautiful, whatever way that is. Not just in services, but in conversations, like a therapy session in here sometimes. So if that's going to, help you or anywhere that you are, just book with someone and take that time for yourself to get a nice facial, a nice massage. A massage would be relaxing. Yeah, it'll feel wonderful. You'll feel brand new for sure. And, and start saying no. So the other challenge is start saying no to things. Maybe there's an event that's coming up and you really don't want to go. You almost feel like you have to. You don't want to go. say no. I'm sorry, not going. Take that time and spend it on yourself instead. And, especially on the weekends, if you have that 9 to 5 all week long, right? Monday through Friday, and then you have the Saturday and Sunday, and that's your time with the family and time for you. Well, it should be time for you, time to reflect, time to relax, away from work. And you already have your family, which you're with 7 days a week versus the 5 days a week. Take the time and to spend it with other people. Sometimes it could be very exhausting. You spend enough people outside of your family at work that it's like, do I have to spend time with other people outside of work? So it's okay to say no, and reflect back and take that weekend for yourself. We already spend it on prioritizing our home, our, relationships and our kids. So don't add on more to that when it's your time to relax. So on the weekends, sometimes it's okay to just say no, and take it for yourself. If you already have even sitters that are willing to take your kids on the weekends as well, utilize that time and just spend it with yourself. Why with other people, because people can be draining. So challenge you this week, say no to something that you really don't want to do. But also, I'm going to challenge you to say yes to something that you have been putting off. So if you've been putting something off for yourself, I give you permission this weekend to go ahead and say yes. Just say yes and do the damn thing. Go ahead. Maybe there's been something you've been putting off for quite a while because you're just there for everyone else that you're not there for yourself. So I allow you to say yes to the thing you've been putting off that you've been wanting to do for yourself and no to the thing that you feel like you don't want to do. It's quite all right. So that is my challenge for you. And I also challenge you to take a nice little 15-minute walk by yourself, just you and nature. Listen to something. Maybe you'll be listening to me. Who knows? I hope so. But listen to something just for 15 minutes. Take a walk around wherever you live. Down the street, maybe drive somewhere, drive to a park where you can just put on some headphones or don't put anything on and just be one with nature and just walk and clear your mind and take that deep breath to reset, So that's my challenge for you this week is to do something for yourself. So, yeah. So, again, this past 2 weeks, I've been able to do a little bit of that, take some time, reflect, just be with myself for a little bit and relax. Been able to relax a little bit more before going back to the daily grind that I have. But yeah, so thank you so much for being with me in this episode. I think I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter than I normally do. I just need to practice on not rambling. So I'll be getting better at this, guys, I promise. But if there's any ideas, if there's anything that you'd want me to talk about, to go over, or even if there's something that you actually did with this episode and you want to share with me, I would love to hear your stories. So go ahead, please, and DM me, send me an email, message me, and let me know if there's something with the challenge that you did for yourself or something that you'd like to start or you need extra motivation. I would love to share, inspiration with you to help you get started. So thank you so much for being here, and just know that you don't have to do more to rest, okay? You don't have to do more to rest. You are worthy, you are enough, and you are allowed to take your space in this world and in your life. Okay, so until the next one, again, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow and all those good things. Leave a comment as well if this has helped you in any way and if you want to hear more things like this. I would love to know. So with that, thank you so much for being with me. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.